Right here, in this very moment, you hold the extraordinary power of 6 simple words that have the potential to transform your life. These aren't just any words. They're charged with a frequency that can rewire your thoughts, shift your energy, and unlock the endless possibilities waiting for you. Trust me, you're here for a reason. Finding this video isn't random. It's the universe speaking directly to you. This is your moment. Maybe the universe wants you to know about these words so you can start using them. Maybe you felt stuck, questioning, why not me? When will it be my turn? Well, that moment is now. Say it with your whole heart. I am ready to win big in life. I am ready for abundance. Write them down in the comments below as a declaration to yourself and the universe. Let the universe hear you. Because the 6 words you're about to discover, they could change everything. Let me share a story. During one of the retreats I attended, a friend told me about a woman named Emily. For 18 years, Emily's life felt like a loop. Wake up, go to work, come home, and repeat. Her mind was hardwired to this routine, triggering the same stress chemicals every day. She felt stuck, hopeless, and as if life was passing her by. That's when she discovered these 6 transformative words. When she started using them daily, along with the techniques I'll share with you, her life shifted dramatically. Within just a few months, Emily launched a business she had dreamed of for years. She moved from surviving to thriving. What changed? The way she spoke to herself. You see, every word you speak creates a ripple effect. When you say, I can't, your brain releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. But when you use these 6 powerful words, your brain produces serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins, the chemicals that fuel creativity, motivation, and joy. This isn't just positive thinking, it's backed by neuroscience. Studies in the field of psychoneuroimmunology reveal that certain word patterns can alter your gene expression in hours. Think about this. Your brain is wired by your past. Every time you think the same thoughts or repeat the same words, you reinforce old neural pathways. It's like walking the same path through a forest until it's so well worn that you can't imagine another way. But these 6 words, they're the machete that clears a new path. They'll help you carve fresh neural connections that empower you to think differently, feel differently, and ultimately live differently. Emily's story is proof. By rewiring her brain with these 6 words, she didn't just change her thoughts, she changed her reality. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that when you teach your brain and body how to feel the emotions of your future desires, you collapse time. You move from hoping for change to living as if it's already here. Neville Goddard often said, the feeling is the secret. These 6 words are your key to accessing that feeling daily. Are you ready to take that first step? Are you ready to shift your inner dialogue and transform your outer world? Because what I'm about to share could be the most important thing you hear today. Now, I want to celebrate your courage. The fact that you're here, watching this, shows that you're ready to take charge of your life and step into a better version of yourself. Subscribing isn't just a click, it's a bold act of self-investment. It's you telling the universe, I'm ready to grow, to change, and to create the life I deserve. Let's start with this. Your thoughts and words are energy, and energy creates reality. Every single word you speak to yourself carries a vibration, a frequency that tells the universe exactly what to deliver back to you. But here's where most people get stuck. They're unknowingly speaking words that reinforce limitation and lack. Phrases like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough money seem small in the moment, but they're powerful instructions to your subconscious mind and the universe. These 6 words we're about to uncover are the antidote to those limitations. They're designed to reprogram your mind, shift your energy, and open the floodgates to abundance. But here's the secret. It's not just about saying the words. It's about feeling them deeply, allowing them to take root in your body and your spirit. These 2 words are not just a statement. They are a proclamation of who you are becoming. Every time you declare, I am strong, or I am capable, you ignite a spark within yourself, a force that propels you toward your greatest potential. But when you say, I am not enough, or I am stuck, you cast a shadow over your own power, chaining yourself to the very limitations you wish to escape. Neville Goddard famously taught, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you say, I am, you are aligning your consciousness with that wish. It's not just about what you say, it's about embodying it, feeling it deep in your heart, and letting those words vibrate through every cell of your being. These two words are the foundation of everything. They declare your identity and set the tone for what you will create. By speaking I am with intention and conviction, you're opening the door to the version of yourself who is already living the life you desire. Next, we have I choose. These two words are the antidote to helplessness. They shift you from feeling like life is happening to you into realizing that life is happening for you. Instead of saying, I wish things would change, you say, I choose to create change. This word isn't just about making decisions, it's about reclaiming control. When you say, I choose to take a step forward, you're exercising your power. You're telling yourself and the universe that you're ready to act even when the path isn't perfectly clear. The third phrase is to create. These words move you from imagining possibilities to taking action. They remind you that you are the creator of your reality, not a spectator. You're not waiting for the perfect moment or for someone else to give you permission. When you declare, I choose to create, you awaken a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, RAS. This is the part of your mind that filters your thoughts and focuses on what's most important. By choosing to create, you prime your brain to find opportunities, solutions, and pathways to success. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains this beautifully. When you teach your body emotionally what your future feels like, your mind begins to align with that vision. Speaking these words isn't just about saying them, it's about feeling them as if they're already true. The fourth word is abundant. This word is a game changer because it shifts your focus from what you lack to what is possible. Most of us spend so much energy focusing on what isn't working, what we don't have, or what's out of reach. But when you declare abundance, you retrain your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles. The fifth word is now. This is one of the most transformative words because it pulls you into the present moment. All your creative power exists in the now, not in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future. When you say, I choose to create abundance now, you anchor your mind and body in the present, where real transformation happens. Finally, the sixth word is worthy. Without this word, the others lose their power. Declaring yourself worthy is the foundation for receiving. If you don't believe you deserve the success, the abundance, or the life you want, you'll block yourself from fully embracing it. Saying, I am worthy, isn't just about boosting your confidence. It's about owning your value and understanding that you have every right to create and receive what you desire. So, when you combine these 6 words, I choose to create abundant, worthy now, you're making a declaration to yourself, your brain, and the universe. These aren't just words, they're a decision. And here's the question. What words are you speaking to yourself every day? Are they building the life you want, or are they reinforcing the patterns you're ready to leave behind? This is your moment to take charge of your inner dialogue. Speak these 6 words with conviction. Write them down, repeat them, and watch as they begin to reshape your life from the inside out. If you've made it this far, I hope you're feeling inspired. Subscribing isn't just staying connected, it's a way to affirm your commitment to growth and abundance. Hit that button and take this small, powerful step for yourself today. These 6 words are not just phrases you repeat. They are declarations that set the tone for your life. When you start using them intentionally, you'll notice subtle shifts in how you think, feel, and act. Let's go back to the first 2 words, I am. These are 2 of the most powerful words you can speak. Why? Because whatever follows I am is what your brain begins to believe. It's what your subconscious mind works to make true. If you're constantly saying, I am overwhelmed, or I am not good enough, then that's the reality you'll keep living. But when you shift to, I am powerful, or I am abundant, your thoughts and energy start to change. Neville Goddard said it best, you attract who you believe yourself to be. So every time you say, I am, you're choosing an identity. You're telling your mind and the universe, this is who I am. This is the reality I choose. The next 2 words are just as important. I choose. These words remind you that you're in control. Too often we fall into the trap of thinking life is happening to us. We wait for circumstances to change, or we blame outside forces for our struggles. But when you say, I choose to take action, or I choose to focus on abundance, you're reclaiming your power. You're no longer waiting for things to happen. you're creating them. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this in his work. He says, you cannot wait for your life to change to feel better. You must feel better to create the change. It's a reminder that your choices, your emotions, and your energy are what create your reality. Now, the third and fourth words are to create. These words shift you from being passive to being an active participant in your life. They're a declaration that you're not just going to sit back and let life happen. You're going to build the life you want. When you say, I choose to create, you're telling your brain, I'm ready to look for solutions. I'm ready to see opportunities. I'm ready to act. And here's the thing, when you speak these words consistently, your brain starts to rewire itself. Your mind's reticular activating system begins to filter out the noise and focus on what aligns with your intention. If you tell yourself, I create abundance, your brain will start looking for ways to make that a reality. You'll notice opportunities that were always there, but you weren't tuned into them before. And then we come to the fifth word, abundant. This word is a game changer. It's not about material wealth alone, it's about a mindset. When you say, I am abundant, you're focusing on possibility instead of lack. You're training your brain to see what's available rather than what's missing. And that's a massive shift. Here's the truth. Abundance isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. It's in the way you think, the way you act, and the way you show up for yourself every day. The final word, now. This is the most powerful word of all because it brings you into the present moment. It reminds you that all your power exists in the now. You can't change the past and you can't control the future, but you can make a decision right here, right now. When you say, I choose to create abundance now, you're anchoring yourself in the present and stepping into your power. And this is important. Change doesn't happen someday. It happens today. It happens in the moment you decide to align your thoughts, words, and actions with your desires. These 6 words, I am choosing to create abundance now, are more than affirmations. They're a call to action. They're a blueprint for how you can step into the person you're meant to be. But here's the key. It's not just about saying them. It's about believing them. It's about feeling them deeply in your heart, your mind, and your body. Neville Goddard taught that feeling is the bridge between your desires and your reality. If you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel abundant, the words will remain empty. So when you say these words, I want you to really feel them. Visualize what they mean to you. Imagine the life you're creating. See yourself living in abundance, surrounded by everything you desire. Feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude. So now that you understand the power of these 6 words, let's talk about how to actually apply them in your life. These words are tools, but like any tool, they only work if you use them consistently and intentionally. The first step is to make these words part of your daily routine. Start your morning with them, say them out loud, feel their energy, and let them guide your mindset for the day. Write them down if you can. There's something about physically putting pen to paper that solidifies the message in your subconscious mind. But here's where most people get stuck. They say the words, but they don't back them up with belief or action. You can't just say, I am abundant, while secretly thinking, this won't work for me. That kind of contradiction blocks the very transformation you're trying to create. This is why Neville Goddard's teaching is so important. He said, it is not enough to think about your desire. You must feel it as if it is already yours. When you say these words, don't just say them, embody them. Let your heart feel what it would feel like to already live in abundance, to already create the life you're dreaming of. The more you feel it, the more real it becomes. And then comes the next step, action. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this all the time. He says, you can't wait for success to feel empowered. You must act empowered to create success. These 6 words are not just about shifting your thoughts. They're about shifting your behavior. Ask yourself, if I truly believed I am worthy, if I truly believed I could create abundance now, what would I do differently? What bold action would I take today? Because here's the truth. Words without action are just ideas, but words backed by belief and action, that's where transformation happens. That's when you start to notice opportunities where you once saw obstacles. That's when doors start opening that you didn't even know existed. I want you to think about an area of your life where you've been holding yourself back. Maybe it's your finances, your career, your relationships, or your health. Now take a deep breath and ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this part of my life? Are you telling yourself that it's too hard, that it's not possible, that you're not ready? Or are you telling yourself, I am capable, I am creating, and I am worthy of change now? This is your moment to rewrite that story. These 6 words are your new story. They are your reminder that you are not defined by your past, but by the choices you make in this moment. So here's what I want you to do. Take a piece of paper or open the Notes app on your phone and write these words down. I am choosing to create abundant, worthy success now. Write it, say it, feel it. And every time doubt creeps in, every time old patterns try to pull you back, return to these words. They are your anchor, your guide, and your truth. Let me share a quick story to inspire you. A friend of mine, who I'll call Lisa, was in a place of complete overwhelm. Her business was struggling, her confidence was at an all-time low, and she felt like nothing she did was working. When she learned about these 6 words, she was skeptical at first, but she decided to give them a try. Every morning she stood in front of the mirror, looked herself in the eyes, and said, I am choosing to create abundance now. At first, it felt awkward. She didn't fully believe it, but she kept going, and something incredible started to happen. As she repeated those words, her mindset began to shift. She started seeing possibilities where she once saw dead ends. She began taking small, consistent actions that aligned with her new mindset. Within 6 months, Lisa turned her business around. She landed clients she never thought she could attract, grew her income beyond what she imagined, and, most importantly, rediscovered her confidence. She said to me, those 6 words reminded me of my power. They reminded me that I am the creator of my life. The beautiful thing about this process is that it doesn't require perfection. It's not about saying everything the right way or feeling 100% confident all the time. It's about consistency and showing up for yourself, even on the days when it feels difficult. These 6 words are your anchor. They ground you in a mindset that's focused on growth and possibilities. Every time you use them, you're reaffirming your commitment to becoming the person you're meant to be. But here's something important. Your actions have to align with your words. If you say, I am choosing to create abundance, but your actions reflect fear, hesitation, or self-doubt, you're sending mixed signals to your brain and to the universe. Think about this for a moment. What would someone who truly believed in their worth, their power, and their ability to create abundance do? They wouldn't hesitate to take that next step. They wouldn't dwell on past failures or fear the unknown. They would act boldly, knowing that every action they take moves them closer to their goals. That's why the word now is so important. It reminds you that your power exists in this moment, not in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future. When you say, I create abundance now, you're reminding yourself to focus on what you can do today, in this very moment. These words are not magic, but they are transformational. They create a shift in your mindset. And when your mindset shifts, your actions and your reality follow. Now, let's talk about how you can make these words a part of your daily life. The first step is to create a morning ritual. Start each day by saying these 6 words out loud. Stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and speak them with intention. I am choosing to create abundant, worthy success now. As you say these words, allow yourself to feel their truth. Visualize what abundance looks like for you. Imagine yourself stepping into a life of confidence, success, and fulfillment. The more you connect with the emotions behind these words, the more powerful they become. Another way to reinforce these words is by writing them down. Keep a journal and write these 6 words at the top of the page every morning. Then, write about what they mean to you that day. What actions will you take to align with them? What opportunities can you create or recognize by living these words? When you make this a daily practice, you're not just repeating words, you're rewiring your brain. Neuroscience shows that repetition strengthens neural pathways, making new beliefs and behaviors easier to adopt over time. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this extensively in his work. He explains that when you combine intention with emotion and action, you're creating a new blueprint for your life. You're teaching your brain and body to align with your future instead of being stuck in your past. Now let's take this one step further. These 6 words aren't just about changing your mindset. They're about changing your entire energy. Your words carry a vibration, and when you speak them with intention, you're raising your energetic frequency to match the life you want to create. Neville Goddard famously said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." When you say, "I create abundance now," and truly feel it, you're aligning your energy with abundance. And when your energy aligns with abundance, you begin to attract more of it into your life. This is why it's so important to pair these words with gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's already present. It amplifies the power of these words by anchoring you in a state of appreciation and possibility. Every night before you go to bed, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. Then repeat these 6 words. I am choosing to create abundant, worthy success now. Let them be the last thing you think about before you fall asleep, so they can influence your subconscious mind throughout the night. And here's the thing, you're going to have moments of doubt. That's normal. Change is uncomfortable, and stepping into a new version of yourself can feel challenging. But every time you doubt yourself, return to these words. Let them remind you of your power and your ability to create. Think of these 6 words as a compass. They guide you back to your truth, even when the path feels unclear. They remind you that you're not defined by your past, but by the choices you make in this moment. One of the most inspiring stories I've heard about this process comes from a woman I met at an event. She had been stuck in a cycle of fear and scarcity for years. No matter how hard she worked, it felt like she could never get ahead. She was skeptical of the idea that words could change her life, but she decided to give it a try. Every morning, she stood in front of the mirror and said, I am choosing to create abundance now. She wrote the words in her journal. She repeated them during her commute, and she even set a reminder on her phone to say them throughout the day. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but slowly, she began to notice small shifts. She felt more confident in her interactions. She started seeing opportunities she had overlooked before, and she began to take actions she wouldn't have considered in the past. Within a year, her life had completely transformed. She started a new career, paid off her debts, and created a level of financial stability she had never experienced before. When I asked her how it all happened, she said, those 6 words changed the way I saw myself. And when I changed how I saw myself, everything else changed too. Her story is proof that these words work, not because they're magic, but because they help you shift your mindset, your energy, and your actions. So let me ask you, what are you speaking into existence right now? Are your words empowering you, or are they keeping you stuck? This is your opportunity to take control of your inner dialogue. These 6 words are your guide. They remind you of your power, your worth, and your ability to create the life you want. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You can start right now. Say the words out loud. I am choosing to create abundant, worthy success now. Feel them. Write them down. Live them. And watch as they begin to transform your life from the inside out. The life you want is closer than you think. These 6 words are the key. Take a moment to pause and reflect. What story are you telling yourself right now? Is it a story of abundance or one of limitation? Remember, every thought you think and every word you speak is shaping your reality. Shift your story, and you shift your entire life. Thank you for being here and taking this journey with me. I hope this video brought you clarity, inspiration, and the tools to step into your power. If you found value in this, please like the video and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.